Hey everybody, it's me, Remy, the comic book poser, and today I'm here to welcome you to Enter the Poserverse. It's another week, another new comic book day on Wednesday, so I'm here to tell you what 20 books I plan on picking up this week. So let's see what's made the list after this.
Hey! The champ is telling you to do something! Alright, you know what? You know what? You know what just happened? Because you didn't do what he said? You know what? You know what? You just made the list!
Up first this week is from Aftershock. I've got one title and it's Join the Future number 5 by Zach Kaplan and Peter Kowalski. I've really enjoyed this book. There was quite the cliffhanger at the end of book number 4. It looks like, by both the cover and the events from the first 4 books, we finally get a glimpse of what's going on in the big mega city or in the future and why it might be bad, or why our main character has kind of rebelled from wanting to join the future up to this point. So this is probably the book that's going to be at the top of my stack this week, that I've just loved it from start to finish, and I want to see what happens next. From AWA, I've got 3 books on the pull list this week. Number 1 is Devil's Highway number 2 by Ben Percy and Brent Scoovner. I really like Devil's Highway number 1. I like the bit of suspense that we get. I like the symbolism. I like trying to figure out what happened at the truck stop. That there's a lot of mystery surrounding this story, and I'm very excited to pick up with book 2. The second AWA book coming out is Old Haunts number 3. Ollie Masters, Rob Williams, and Campbell and Lowridge. Again, this is one of the books that I picked up when issue number 2 came out. So I think I'm going to pick up all of the singles, but I'm going to kind of functionally keep trade waiting for this to kind of digest it all at once. The third book coming up from AWA is The Resistance number 4 by Stradinsky and Deodato Jr. I like watching what's happening with these new superheroes, the people who get their powers. This, like I've said, is probably one of the AWA books that I'm not the most amped up about, but it's still a good read. The art is still beautiful. It's just not necessarily my favorite. From Boom Studios, I've got 3 books coming out this week. The first is Alienated number 5 by Cy Spurrier, Simon Wildgoose, and I think I'm just going to get the A cover to this. I think there are 2 or 3 floating around. Book 4 was amazing when it came out. My only complaint was the lack of a content warning, because it dealt a lot with issues of self-harm. It's not a reason, why I shouldn't read it. It was just kind of a small complaint about how some people could potentially have been triggered by the content of the book, but I'm wondering if we get to see the interaction between the alien and the third child named Sam, and what exactly it brings out based on their personality, right? We saw what happened with Samantha and Samir, so, Sam number 3 is up to the plate. The next book coming out, and probably one of the most hyped books from Boom of the week, is Tom Taylor's 7 Secrets number 1 that's coming out. I don't know what's happening with it. I haven't read a lot about it, but I like Tom Taylor. I like the books that Boom Studios puts out. The cover work on this is beautiful, so I'll at least give it a shot because of all of the kind of confounding factors that make me want to pick up a number 1 from Boom Studios anyway. The last book from Boom this week is Something is Killing the Children number 9 by James Tynion IV, Weather Deladera and Mikel Muerto. I've liked what's happening. You're starting to see the conflict really coming to the forefront in between the representatives of the House Slaughter. So I want to see if that becomes kind of a big deal in the next one, and, what happens now that their plan kind of fell apart because Erica stopped him from using the only surviving child as bait. From DC, 3 books this week. Number 1 is Death Metal number 3. I'm, again, putting this in the stack of death metal books that I will read when everything comes out, because I'm still not caught up with all of the essential readings for the story to make sense. The second is Flash number 759 by Williamson, Sandoval, and Tarragova. I like what's happening with the building of the Legion of Zoom. I like seeing if the Flash is right, that he's thinking around the plans that the Reverse Flash has come up with, and just Joshua Williamson has written a good story, and the art in this is really good. It's probably one of my favorites in terms of all of the DC books. And the last one from DC is Green Lantern number 6 by Grant Morrison with art by Sharp. I have enjoyed this. This, run has just felt like an acid trip, and I feel like we started to get some clarity at the end of book number 5, so I want to see if book 6 starts to kind of walk us back through just the hellscape of everything that we've seen in the previous 3 or 4 books, and if this is going to finally tie back in to some of the things that happened in Black Stars that we were told was kind of essential reading between the 2 seasons. From Image, there are 2 books that I'm picking up this week. The first is Adventure Man number 3, and it's by Matt Fraction and the Dodsons on art. I still haven't read 1 and 2. I picked them up. They're in my big to read pile, which is behind the camera, and my goal is to be caught up by Wednesday. The second book is a new number 1. It's called Big Girls, and it's all done by Jason Howard. So I'm excited to look at new Image number 1s. I got really excited about Lost Soldiers when it came out 2 weeks ago. So I'm, hopping on the bandwagon with a new number 1 Image title. Coming out from Mad Cave Studios this week is Hellfire Quinn number 4. It's written by Jay Sandlin with art by Adegwan Ilhan and Maria Santaala. I am 1 book away from being caught up on this, and I have an interview with Jay Sandlin coming up soon, so you should read it. I like everything that is happening from Mad Cave Studios. I really like the first 2 issues of Hellfire Quinn, so now it's time for me to get caught up and be able to talk about it, and y'all should read it because I, keep saying that you shouldn't sleep on Mad Cave Studios, especially with all of the new number 1s that are about to come out at the end of this month. For Marvel, I have a little bit of the same conundrum that I talked about last week. Do I want to pick up some of the books that were pushed to digital only and now they're printing them again? The first one is Ghost Spider number 9. I'll probably pick that up and kind of get caught back up with where it was. The one that I know I'm going to break my I don't want to buy this book in paper is with Hawkeye Freefall. Number 5 comes out this week from Matthew Rosenberg and Otto Schmidt. I've really enjoyed that. So the probability of me picking up these digital or push to digital titles this week is higher than last week that I only picked up Avengers of the Wasteland. Next one up is Marauders number 11. Is Kitty Pryde going to live? Are they going to be able to resurrect her? This has been kind of the thread throughout, the last couple of Marauders books. So I want to see, what happens, or if we have to move on and don a new, the Red Queen for the Hellfire Company. Venom 27 is coming out. Y'all know why Venom is hot. I'm going to read it. Everybody's going to go, oh damn, I didn't get a copy because people are picking up 4 million of them and flipping them on the eBay. I'm going to get one, and I'm going to read it. The end. And then next up is XForce 11 by Ben Percy and Oscar Balazuda. Like I said, I've loved this run of X-Force. I like seeing all of the pieces kind of get moved into place as we figure out what is coming on the horizon for the Ten of Sword event. The last two books that I plan on getting are from Scout Comics. One of them I know I got in my Scout box. The other one I need to pick up from my LCS. But the first one is Everglade Angels number 2. I can't speak highly enough about how enjoyable the first book was in terms of, the softball team ending up in some kind of weird cultist land. So now it picks up and we see, what happens. Are they able to fight from their situation, or what the next layer of the puzzle is? And then probably the book that's going, second on the stack behind Join the Future is going to be Vlad Dracul number 2. I was blown away by how great the first story was in terms of showing the mettle of Vlad Dracul, in terms of wanting to stand up against the Ottoman Empire, in terms of really starting to show his brutal undertones. So I'm really excited to see what happens in the next chapter of this saga. What are you getting this week? Is there anything that I missed? Anything you think that I should pick up that's not on the list? If so, let me know down in the comments. If not, you'll hear what I think about them on the blog this week, or talk about them next week. So as always, thanks for stopping by, and have a good one.